it is.
early, but I
Really?
watched the ABC News. I in the morning, and Nate with the boy said, people in South West Australia.
Where was it here?
Right. Well, probably someone found it. Yeah, I've got my tails now.
They put everything else there.
Yeah, well, let me go.
Have you seen my office?
Also fair.
On a lot of use.
They could tell that I could.
Well, I think the best thing is that doing something on the
Met and spoke out.
there's no things somebody doing for a while.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's that.
You must be very pleased if I've seen those up there. Just six
Caleb 2 tonight. They are. I just knocked out 2 of them in the past 10 minutes.
Page 647. Oziva Zimrat Yahweh Yehili Lishua. The Eternal One is my strength and might. God has become my deliverance. Page 647. Oziva Zimrat Page 128, these words from Shir HaShirim, from Song of Songs, words of love between the people of Israel and the Shekhinah, the feminine aspect of God. My beloved is mine, and I am my beloved's, who browses amongst the Raise a shout to God, all the earth. Break into joyous songs of praise. Sing praise to God with a lyre, most importantly with melodious song. On page 138, 138. Lechadodi Likrat Kala Eme Shabbat Nekavela Lechadodi Likrat Kala Eme Shabbat Nekavela Shamor V'Zachor
As we have just welcomed Shabbat with the singing of Lachado D, Margaret and Tamara Kay will light our Shabbat candles for us. We are on page 190.
As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We welcome those of you who are joining us through our live streaming TV Internet. And let's take a moment to welcome each other, wishing each other a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Since we've done this. השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Page 140.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלה אסור עלינה, ועלה היא היום בכינון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. ושמחתני ירנה בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנה. מה גדול מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמו מחשבותיך. איש רעה לא ידע, ותסית לא יבין עצות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה עמד יפרח, כארז בלבנון, בלבנון יזכה. שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יבריחו עוד ינומון בסלע, ושני ורעננים יהיו להגיד ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולת כפו.
On page 142, Shalom Aleichem, the song about the angels that accompany us through Shabbat. Perhaps we too can be like these angels, messengers to each other and to ourselves.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon,
We rise on page 144 for the Chaditzi Kaddish and the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. Page 144. Amen. Bagala, bagala, ubizman karim. Amen. Yehesh meraba mevorach, la'alam u'lal me'al maya, yitvarach. Page 148. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv arabim, בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב ערבים. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, משפטים אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושופטנו וקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך ונצמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שכבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ופשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בצלתי תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, הוריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם גירושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. If you'll join with me at the top of 157 in the English. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better land, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together, and perhaps singing this song, which it would have behooved perhaps Korach to sing as he opposed Moses when they were to go into the promised land, and the mutiny that he brought about, and that Nadab and Abiram and On also brought about this mutiny. Had they actually had the faith, and the faith that the God that they were seeing day in, day out had demanded of them to actually act and believe and follow Moses, then perhaps they too would have sung this song of rejoicing.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר הקודש, נורא לראות עוז פלא, נורא לראות עוז פלא, על לקוטך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, Adonai Nilo Leolam Vaed Yabai Vadim Biribam Yabai Vadim Bam Yabai Vadim Biribam Yabai Vadim Bam Yai Rai 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 Yabai Vadim Bam Yai Rai 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 Yabai Vadim Bam
ונאמר כי ברא אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל. On page 160, השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our sovereign, to life renewed.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו. אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו
מלכנו לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס כת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, Eternal One, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 162. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages. This will be our covenant, a covenant for all time.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדור את הברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור את הברית עולם.
בני ובן, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור את הברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני,
את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור את הברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש.
שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור את הברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור את הברית עולם.
And so we rise on page 164 for the Amidah or the Tefillah, the central core of our prayer service. And as is our tradition, we chant the first three of the benedictions as a community and then continue in silence, whether using the words of our prayer book or the words of our hearts. Page 164, the Amidah.
Adonai sefotay tiftach ufi agim tehiratecha. Baruch ata Adonai Elohenu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה לעתים אתה רב והושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מסריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחייב לעתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברובה חוגים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידור מלך, מלך ממיתוק חייהם ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה.
my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
But shalom. Just before Micha Mocha, Councillor Alum talked about a fella named Korach. And I imagine that all through the Jewish world this weekend and next weekend, Korach is going to be the topic of all the rabbis' sermons and discussions because of the unique place that he has within the Torah portion, and the Torah portion is named after him. He was not considered a good bloke by the rabbis, or by and rabbinic commentators, and even by the Torah, because you know what happened to Korah? The ground opened up and he was swallowed up. So I used the idea of that last night at our board meeting in giving the drush. It was, as we say, al regel achat, on one foot. And because there wasn't anybody to do the drush last night, the person who was supposed to give the drush ended up having to be away, so of course they look at the rabbi and said, "You're it." And so the drush that I gave basically told the story of Korah. He rose, he had a group of people around him to challenge Moses' authority, Moses' leadership. And of course Moses was in his position along with Aaron, because ultimately God put them in that place. And Korach said, you know, we don't need you as leaders. We should have leaders that are, in a sense, I'm ad-libbing, I'm adding to the Torah, because that's what sometimes rabbis do. It should be a democratic election. And so what ends up happening, ultimately, is God decides that Korach and his men had no right to challenge Moses and Aaron's leadership. And so, as we expect for all leaders that we don't like, the ground opens up and swallows them.
From your lips to God's ears.
That's why I'm talking about it. And so, my challenge to the board last night, I said to them, respect the leaders that we have, because if anybody challenges them, they're going to be swallowed up. So support Rebecca no matter what. But it got me thinking. It got me thinking about what was so bad about Korah. Surely Korah, who stepped forward, he was listening to the people around him. And he was charismatic, the rabbis believe, and he brought them along on this journey to challenge Moses. What's wrong with that? Isn't that called grassroots today? To challenge the status quo? So of course it said, well, what was so terrible about him? What was so awful? And one idea wasn't just that he gathered people around him and he challenged Moses, but of course it was his motivation. Moses, remember, how did Moses get to the position of being in charge? Was he willing to do it? No, in fact, many times he said, "Not pick someone else. Don't pick me." And of course, he wasn't believed to be the most charismatic of leaders. He didn't have the gift of the gab. Remember, he had oral saphatayim. He had what the rabbis called a circumcision of the mouth, which just means he had a speech impediment, according to the rabbis. Or a stata. It could be any of those things. We don't actually know. I don't believe any one of us was there. Let me know if you were. But that's a contradiction, because we always talk about how we were all standing at Sinai. And how is Moses known in Jewish tradition? And this is very interesting, because he's known as not Moshe, Moses, Malkeinu, our king, but Moshe Rabbeinu, our teacher. And so the rabbinic commentaries that I read were talking specifically that what Korach was trying to do is he looked around and said, I don't like the status quo, I don't like the here and now. And in a sense, he was acting like the rabbis thought some of the kings acted, looking only what could happen to help them in that moment, in that time, and not looking to the greater vision. So Moses was seen as saying, well, this is what's going to happen, this is what we're going to do, keep your eye on the end task. The end task was getting to the promised land. So he had greater vision in where he wanted to move the people, whereas Korach was caught up in the moment of what he could do. And they said there's another reason. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe our teacher, Moses' goal with the Israelite people wasn't just to lead them, but it was to teach them. And of course that came through with one of his greatest legacies with God, with the giving of the 10 Commandments. So now that I've set that all up very briefly, so you got Korach, who wasn't a visionary. He didn't see the future. He wasn't looking to the future only in the here and now. Moses looked at the future. Can you give me an example? Let's not get too political. Of who you think might fit those two character types. Now, I guess you went to two people, right? So the challenge is how do we, you didn't need to call the names out or to say, how do we today, when we see things and we see grass movements all the time, we see people challenging the status quo now because it can be so terrible, how do we differentiate between them as a visionary for long-term change? Because remember, Moses could be deemed that. He was, when the Israelites were in Egypt, he saw slavery, that's the here and now. How do we differentiate between people who only see the here and now for their own good versus people who see issues, maybe in the here and now, but also for long term? And that's a question you can try to answer. How do we make that differentiation when we're looking at contemporary leadership? Your silence is deafening. It's not so easy, is it? Because when we think about some of the greatest revolutionaries, they saw the issues in the here and the now. When we talk about people like Martin Luther King, for example, or Nelson Mandela. And now I'm going to say something that you're probably going to tear me apart for. Who was somebody who saw issues in the here and now to create change? Hitler. Right? Think about it. What he did, he thought was good for the German people, but of course he was grossly misguided. Because what he did is there was no, compared to other leaders, and I'm not comparing the two as equals, there was no humanity. There was no humanity. So I think the challenge for us is to say that when we look at people who are pushing agendas, with social agendas, is behind what they're doing humanity? Is there a sense of human justice? Not particular justice. Korach, I think, was particular justice. But is it about universal justice? Now, I know I pushed the limits there in using him as an example. But the point is that you have leaders who look at change and try to push change, but they don't have the greater good in mind. And Moses was one of those people that always had the greater good in mind. Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, and I'm just using them as examples. They always had justice for all. So I've challenged you, I've pushed your boundaries. Shabbat Shalom. Let's rise for Aleinu on page 586. So Jeff, I'd like to invite you to open our ark for us.
Page 586.
Aleinu לשבח אדון הכל,
לצאת גלולה ליוצר בראשית.
שלא עשנו כהרצות, ולא שמענו כשחוטאת עליו, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם. ואנחנו
קוראים ומשחרים ומונים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Remain standing as we turn to page 598 to Kaddish Yatom. And for the week of Shiva, we remember in our congregation and community Gerald Morton, Robert Phillip, and Margaret Swatlow. And for the Shloshim, the 30 days of mourning, we remember Tessa Diamond, Rob Hill, Gloria Jane Joseph, Edna May, Ray Nathan, Leonard Robach, Sol Schachter, and Maud Solomon. And the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of whose death fall on this Shabbat. We remember Ben Bellin, David Benjamin, Martin Leopold Curtis, Wallace Wolfe Davis, Sidonie Dubiner, Josephine Forshaw, Jackie Gimmer, Anna Haar, Gary Hartman, Ouida Clare, Joseph Norman Levin, Hal Levy, Leah Marlab, Gray Markov, Patrick McGrath, Margaret Joan Perlstein, Jill Pomeroy, Moshe Shafadarski, Jenny Seidman, Montefiore David Silverberg, John Silverberg, Arthur Simmelman, Helena Scott, Gina Rose, Jenia Unglick, Martha Weiner, Bernard Zipper, and Harry Zipper. If you'd like to remember the name of a loved one for Shiva, Shloshim, or Yahrzeit, I invite you to share their names out loud or in your hearts at this time.
Lawrence Dibek. Praise the Lord, listener.
Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing. So we join together in one voice, page 598. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, chayachon v'yom echon v'v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah u'barach l'olam ha'ameh ha'maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kudasha v'yiku. Leila mikol berchata v'shirata. Tushvachata v'nechemata. Damiran v'yama v'meru. Amen. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. המקום ינחם אתכם בתוך שער הבלי ציון וירושלים. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved in Zion and Jerusalem and around the world, and we say, Amen. As we are seated, our President Rebecca Stock will make some announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. And thank you, Tammy, Michelle, Ari and Sharon for your liturgy this evening. And welcome everyone to services at Temple Beth Israel. Welcome to our shul regulars, welcome if you're visiting, and welcome if you are here in memory of a loved one. Thank you for being with us today, and welcome everyone who's watching online on our live streaming. A few announcements. Tomorrow, do please return and join us for morning services along with the Siegel family as Noah becomes Bar Mitzvah. Then in the afternoon, our Gesher group are doing something different. They're having a mincha service, which will then be followed by Havdalah and dinner, and that's at 4:30 and will be in the Friedlander. You'll see many of our regular activities in your Kol Israel weekly sheet. Do feel free to take that home. I'll just point out that on Wednesday, on the 3rd of July, we will have Nash and Drush, so do come along at 10:30 to hear about the latest news here in Australia and in Israel. Next Shabbat, we will be having our family Shabbat service, and also as it's the first Shabbat of the month, there will be community dinner. Do feel free to join us for that and bring along a parev or milchik dish to share. Coming up a bit later on, I would like you to diarise the 31st of August in preparation for high holidays. Yes, that's the next big thing on our calendar. Rabbi Levi will introduce us to the new Machzor. We're very excited about the new Machzor, and so Rabbi Levi will be running a session to introduce us to the Machzor and its vision. So that will be August the 31st. You will hear a lot more about that as the time goes by. As we're coming to a time in the secular calendar, which is the end of the financial year, I'll just remind members that your membership renewal is due next week, and you can make payments through our online system and also in all the usual ways. And if you have questions, do feel free to contact Fiona in our office. Please join us for Kiddush at the back of the hall after our final song, and please thank Peter and our security volunteers on your way home. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We do conclude with the words of Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael. May the one who creates heaven and high bring peace to us, to all of Israel and all of humanity. And we say, Amen.
Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Amen.
As you come to the back of the hall, the red is wine, the white is grape juice, the whiskey is in the middle, and we begin with the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher k'nishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים.
כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים.
בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש.
השבת לחיים.
טובים.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen. Shabbat shalom and b'davon. Bon appetit. There you go. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Julian. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Yes, whoa. We have magical colors here.
Thank you.